We haven't had an update on the JNL 58 project in a while, so I thought I would put together a little video showing what we have going on here at my house. This is my garage at home. I live in Hubbard Township, which is, this little neighborhood has been historically called Kohlberg, and it's a rather fitting place, I think, to be working on the 58, or an aspect of it. Directly behind the house at one point was the Kohlberg station for the Lakeshore Michigan Southern. Now the Norfolk Southern Youngstown line runs back there. So at any rate, what we're doing here is working on the cab. This is where I'm fabricating the cab for the 58. I'm doing it here mainly because we have a MIG welder that I can use here. I can't use it at the museum. I don't have 240 volts over there, but I have it here. So I've taken over the back half of the garage and used the MIG welder for working on the cab. So what we're doing, the way this cab is constructed, is that it is built upon a 2-inch steel plate that is the deck plate, and that sits upon other steel plates on the back side of the locomotive. The cab itself will be bolted to that plate in such a way that the entire cab can be removed from the plate if necessary. The back side of the cab is curved, and then there is a doorway. Unlike your traditional steam locomotive, which the back of the locomotive is open with a canopy, this here has just had a doorway in the middle, but otherwise it was closed off. And the corners are curved, the roof is curved, and in order to make some of that curvature, what I've decided to do is it was a 4-inch radius curve in a corner, so I had this piece of 8-inch pipe, and I cut it in half and then weld it in place, and now I'll go down through here and make another cut to give me that amount of the curvature I need, and then go into the 1/4-inch plate back here, which also will be curved but at a 70-inch radius. So that's my next thing here is to make this cut, and I'll take the rest of it and then put it over here and do the same thing. This cab also, following I imagine a more European practice, has an opening on the side so that when you're sitting here in the engineer's seat, you can just walk right off to the side of the locomotive, or you can come around behind the back head, come out through the back door into the tender. There really wasn't room for a fireman to sit in the cab on the other side, so pretty much the fireman will be back in the tender. There will be 2 seats in the tender, fireman and another rider. And it's just a little bit better than trying to cram up inside of the cab where it's going to be plenty warm. The front wall is already pretty much fabricated. It's cut out for the boiler. It'll have a flat roof. There's a 2-foot square opening in the top of the roof that has about 2-inch standoffs, and then there's another plate that sits there for ventilation. I think we may have that set up so that plate could be removable. Sometimes we may not want to have that there, especially running on hot days. When the cab is complete, we'll take it out of the garage here, load it on my trailer, take it over to the museum, and then it will go on the locomotive as the locomotive is being reassembled. I'll probably bring the saddle tank over here and put it in its place. There's quite a few plates on it that need replaced and some welding work to do, so I'll do all that in the saddle tank here. And then after the locomotive is finished, we may be using this space for the construction of the 2-foot gauge railroad cars. So, you know, this area here will be used quite a bit for the building of the 2-foot gauge railroad. In the background there's a stationary steam engine. It's a Ames single-cylinder Uniflow, that came out of a wood products plant up in Berlin, New York, and I brought it several years ago, put it in there, kind of restored the back end of it, and it's now where we collect all of our various junk that I don't know what else to do with. The cylinder needs a little bit of work on it, so I haven't done anything with it in a while. But once we have the ability to make steam at the museum, that may open up avenues for getting some of our other steam-powered equipment operating. So it may yet have a future over there at Youngstown Steel Heritage. So at any rate, just a little update on what's going on and where we're at. And once the weather breaks and it's warm on a more regular basis, we will be doing quite a bit more work over there on the locomotive. Finally reassembling the running gear and getting all that done, and then when the boiler is finished, bringing it over, setting the boiler on. Probably at that point we'll do a test fire of the locomotive, make sure everything is in good shape, then continue on, put the cab on, put the water tank on, finish painting all the little detail work. So we've got a lot of work going on this summer into the fall. We're still hoping to have the locomotive operational in some manner this fall. I'm not saying it'll be complete, but we should be able to get a fire in it and move under its own power by this fall sometime. So just keep watching out for this YouTube channel, and I'll keep posting videos as there's things worthy of talking about. Thanks.